Autumn is in the air, and summer is only occasionally able to greet us for a few hours during the daytime. The mornings have a different feel and smell. Dewdrops find their way onto the grass, and I welcome the new season with optimism. Sometimes a change is needed, even a natural one, such as a season changing. It can give a new perspective, and I feel this pull towards this change. We get more rainy days, and as much as a cliche it sounds like, it washes away something I can't quite put my finger on. And it changes something inside of me, a positive spark and drive that keeps me going. Outside my window, I watch the apples grow bigger and more red. The leaves are slowly changing their colors to a whole new spectrum of colors. It brings me joy to see this change, but also a bit of a sadness. Time has flown away, and I'm entering a new era of my life. I am ever so grateful for the response on my last video, and it made me realize that maybe what I'm doing has an impact and a meaning, and that I'm able to reach someone that needs to hear. I'm growing to love filmmaking little by little each day, and hearing that my words have reached someone who needs it or can relate gives me inspiration to continue what I'm doing. In a hectic life, we all have different outlets to balance our lives. For some, this might be exercise, being with friends, creating art, or playing video games. For many years, my outlet was taking photos, but at some point, I got the overwhelming feeling of not being good enough. My expectations to myself was much higher than what I was able to perform, and a constant comparison to others created a negative view on my own work. The feeling of joy got replaced by a feeling of anxiety and defeat. We are but an arm's reach to access the whole world through the internet, and this is a wonderful thing if you're able to use it as inspiration, but can also put pressure on one. And for me, it created a feeling of having to have a constant need to grow in order to keep up. And in the end, I lost my inspiration for photography. A few years ago, I traveled and lived abroad for a while. I started to develop a new interest in the traveling industry, and last year, I finished my studies in marketing and leadership in tourism experiences. I loved all the creative parts, such as how images and film can make such a big difference for a business. And I managed to get an internship as a content creator in Finland. I knew that this was the right path for me, but I had little experience with filmmaking. I started experimenting with filming and loved spending hours out in the cold filming in Lillehammer. It's scary losing one's passion like I had with photography. I was in my comfort zone and I thought I would work with photography for the rest of my life. It's been part of my identity for a long time, and I suddenly felt lost without it. My life was going another direction than what I expected, and it was scary. But very naturally, video slowly came into my life, and I started to get the same feeling I got from photography. The fun of exploring and learning something new, alongside creating moving images, showing something more alive, and capturing small moments, gives me a warm and happy feeling. I love being close to nature, or filming regular everyday moments that one might forget or take for granted. Alongside the growing joy of filmmaking, I've started to feel more comfortable taking photos again. At some point, I noticed that my passion for photography hasn't really disappeared. I just needed a break and detach myself from the internet so that I could start from scratch again. Although photography isn't my main focus at the moment, I still enjoy the process from shooting, editing, and posting. But I do feel like my photography has taken another direction. After being with the amazing people from Love IRL, I started to enjoy taking photos of people's everyday moments. But my love for taking photography of animals are still part of me. Having an identity crisis can hit very hard, and I was lucky that I didn't stray too far off my path. I will continue to believe in myself and have more confidence in the work I present, and I hope that you will continue to be part of my journey.